This is a continuation of the OpenClinica training, Module 4, and we're going to talk about event status. In this section, we're going to cover following three areas: how and when to automatically mark an event as complete, when and how to manually mark an event as complete, and when and how to mark an event as skipped. Here we are at the subject matrix, and now we're going to look at the status of an event. Here once again our events. We're going to look at screening, and we're going to select this event. You can tell by the icon with a little watch on it or clock on it, it's scheduled. Let's go look at this. Let's click on it, view and enter data, and here we have it. We have our event, and you can see our event is made up of has two CRFs, demographic and medical history, and we're going to enter data into them. Okay, let's do this quickly. We're going to enter data. We're going to enter the visit date, informed consent date, hour, date of birth. We'll do this manually. Calculate the age. Alright, we've entered all the fields. Hopefully we've done it correctly. And we're going to mark this CRF complete. It gives me a warning message that I'm marking it complete. I click on it. Hopefully I don't have any errors, and I don't have any errors. And now we can see the CRF for demographic is complete. Here we are back at the subject matrix, and now I'm going to show you how to manually set an event to complete. Let's look at this case 33, and let's go to screening. In this screening we're allowed to have two events, but let's talk about that later. I'm just going to go over the second event. I'm going to go down here and view and enter data. And you can see the current status of this is we have one CRF complete and one in data entry. But things have happened in this study where I just have to mark this event complete. So I go up here, I click on study event. Now I have two options here. Because I've already started data entry and that's in one of the CRFs and one's complete, I have to stop all processing. So I click stop and I said submit changes. So now it's stopped. Alright. Okay, and it's marked stop. Alright, now I want to set this as complete. So I have to go back in. This is a little bit complicated. As I just said, we stopped the processing for that case, but now we want to go back in and set it as complete. So here I am back at the subject matrix. I want to click view and enter data. I click on that, and there's our subject record. And as you can see up here, it says subject event status stopped. But now I want to set that to complete. So I go back up to edit study event, and I have my options here, status stop, but now I have several more options. I can set it to skipped, which means nothing will ever be done with this again, or I can set it to completed. Well, I don't want to set it to skipped, although you rarely use that, but it is handy to know about. I want to set it to completed. Click on that, submit changes, and now look back at this. Both CRFs are now complete, and the status of the event is completed. I know that was a little confusing, but if you go through your test application and play with it, you'll get the hang of this. As I always tell people, you can look at the videos, you can read the documentation, but the only way to learn this is to play with this. Now I'm going to show you how to enter data into a CRF with a repeating record. Let's select this case. We'll go back into the screening event. We'll view and enter data. As you remember, you can see the demographics CRF is complete, but the medical history, and that is in data entry mode. So we'll go there, enter data, and right now really nothing has been entered. We'll enter a date, and is there any medical history present? We'll say yes. So we'll enter our first one, and we'll say he's had a headache. Clinically significant, we'll say no. Start date, we'll say this date. Stop date here. Still present, no, and that's it. So we entered one record for one medical history record. So now we're going to hit the add button, and we'll enter another one. Stomach pain. Clinically significant, we'll say no. Start date again, and we'll say still present. So we've entered two medical history records, and we could enter many more, as many as we need. But we'll mark this as complete, see if there's any errors. Click save, and there's no errors. Both CRFs are now complete. We entered multiple records into the medical history CRF. And now we'll go back to see our record. Now we see that our event, because both CRFs are complete, our event is also complete.